What if the biggest reason you are stuck in life is not failure, not fear, but other people's opinions? Think about it. Most people spend their entire lives watching others, comparing, seeking approval, trying to fit into expectations that were never meant for them. But the moment you stop looking outside and start focusing entirely on yourself, something powerful happens. Your energy changes, your confidence grows, your direction becomes clear. Because the truth is simple. The people who transform their lives are the ones who become completely obsessed with their own growth. Not selfish, not arrogant, but relentlessly focused on becoming better every single day. And today you will discover what truly happens when you finally become obsessed with yourself and stop worrying about everyone else. Self-focus creates personal power. Real transformation begins when your attention shifts from others to your own growth. Most people spend their lives looking outward. They watch what others are doing, what others are achieving, what others are saying about them. Their energy becomes scattered in 1,000 directions, constantly reacting to opinions, criticism, praise, and comparison. And slowly, without realizing it, they lose connection with the most important responsibility they were given in life, the responsibility to build themselves. Because when a person becomes too focused on the outside world, they forget to develop the inner world. They become prisoners of expectations, constantly adjusting their behavior just to please people whose opinions change every day. But real power begins the moment your focus shifts inward. The moment you stop asking, quote, what do people think about me, quote. Asterisk and start asking, ampersand, quote, what kind of person am I becoming? That is the moment transformation begins. Because deep inside every human being, Allah has placed an incredible potential, a mind capable of growth, a heart capable of strength, a soul capable of discipline, patience, and greatness. But this potential only awakens when a person takes responsibility for themselves, instead of chasing approval from the world. There is a powerful truth written in faith. Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. And this message is not just spiritual guidance. It is the blueprint of personal power. When you start focusing on your own growth, something emotional begins to shift inside you. You begin to notice the habits that are weakening you, the fears that are controlling you, the laziness that is stealing your time, the distractions that are slowly wasting your life. And sometimes that realization hurts, because it forces you to look honestly at the person in the mirror. It forces you to admit that the life you want will never appear through excuses, blame, or comparison. It will only appear through self-transformation, through nights when you push yourself even when no one is watching, through mornings when you wake up while others are still sleeping, through moments when your heart wants comfort but your soul demands discipline. This is where personal power is born, not in public applause, not in social media praise, but in the silent battles you fight with yourself. Every time you choose growth over comfort, your identity changes. Every time you resist distraction and choose discipline, your character becomes stronger. Every time you invest time in learning, improving, and strengthening your mind, you are honoring the gift Allah placed inside you. And there is something deeply emotional about this journey, because the moment you begin focusing on becoming better, you realize how much time you once wasted trying to impress people who never truly understood your struggle. You remember the moments you stayed silent because you feared judgment. You remember the dreams you delayed because someone told you that you were not capable. And that realization can shake your heart. But it also awakens something powerful inside you. A quiet determination that says, my life will not be controlled by the opinions of people. My life will be guided by purpose. And when your focus turns inward, your energy becomes concentrated. Instead of competing with the world, you begin competing with your old self. Yesterday's weakness becomes today's challenge. Yesterday's fear becomes today's lesson. And slowly, step by step, you begin to build the strongest form of confidence. The confidence that comes from self-respect. A confidence that grows every time you keep a promise to yourself. A confidence that grows every time you push through difficulty while trusting that Allah sees every effort, every struggle, every moment of patience hidden from the world. Because in faith there is a powerful reminder, Allah sees what is in the hearts and the efforts that people cannot see. And when you understand this deeply, something changes inside you. You stop chasing attention. You stop performing for people. You stop living your life for applause. Instead, you begin living with intention, knowing that every effort to improve yourself is an act of responsibility, discipline, and gratitude for the life you were given. And slowly the person you are becoming starts to feel stronger than the person you used to be. Stop seeking validation. True confidence is built through self-respect, not approval. One of the most silent traps in life is the need for validation, the desire to be liked, accepted, praised, and approved by others. It starts very early. From childhood, we are taught to seek approval from teachers, from family, from society. And slowly, without realizing it, many people grow up believing that their value depends on what others think about them. So they adjust their behavior. They hide their real thoughts. They suppress their dreams. They silence their voice, all just to avoid criticism or rejection. And emotionally, this creates a heavy burden on the heart. Because when your confidence depends on people's approval, your peace becomes extremely fragile. One compliment makes you feel powerful, but one criticism can break your spirit. One moment of praise lifts you up, but one moment of rejection makes you doubt your worth. This is not confidence. This is emotional dependence. Real confidence is something much deeper. It is not built through applause or recognition. It is built through self-respect. Self-respect is what happens when a person begins to honor their own values, their own discipline, and their own responsibilities. It is the quiet strength that grows when you start keeping promises to yourself. When you say you will wake up early, and you do it. When you say you will work hard, and you stay committed. When you say you will control your anger, your ego, your laziness, and you fight that battle sincerely. These moments may seem small to the world, but they are powerful inside the soul. Because every promise you keep to yourself becomes a brick in the foundation of your character. And character is the birthplace of confidence. From a spiritual perspective, this truth becomes even more powerful, because the heart of a believer understands something very important. Your true worth is not measured by people's opinions, but by your sincerity and your intentions before Allah. Asterisk, people may misunderstand you. People may judge you unfairly. People may criticize the path you choose. But the one who created you sees the effort that no one else sees. He knows the struggles inside your heart, the sacrifices you make in silence, the moments when you choose discipline instead of temptation. And when a person truly understands this, their need for validation begins to disappear. They stop living for people's approval because they realize that human opinions are temporary and constantly changing. Today someone praises you, tomorrow the same person may criticize you. If your confidence depends on people, your identity will always be unstable. But when your confidence is built on self-respect and sincerity, it becomes unshakable. You begin to walk differently, not with arrogance, but with inner calm. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. You no longer feel desperate for attention or recognition. You simply focus on becoming a better person every day, improving your mind, strengthening your discipline, purifying your intentions. There is something deeply emotional about this realization, because many people spend years trying to prove their worth to the world, exhausting their energy chasing acceptance that never fully satisfies the heart. But the moment you stop seeking validation, a strange freedom appears. You breathe differently, your mind becomes quieter, your heart becomes stronger. You begin to understand that your value was never meant to come from applause, followers, or praise. Your value comes from the person you are becoming, the integrity you build, the discipline you practice, the sincerity you carry in your heart. And slowly, the more you respect yourself, the less control the world has over your emotions. Criticism stops hurting as much. Rejection stops feeling like failure. Because your confidence is no longer dependent on approval. It is rooted in something far more powerful, the deep, quiet knowledge that you are living with purpose, sincerity, and self-respect. Self-mastery over social approval, discipline, and inner control are more powerful than external recognition. In today's world, many people are unconsciously trained to chase recognition. They want to be seen, praised, admired, and celebrated. Social approval has become a powerful addiction. A compliment can make someone feel valuable, while criticism can make them question their entire identity. But the truth is, external recognition is one of the weakest foundations a person can build their life upon. Because recognition depends on people, and people are unpredictable. Today they admire you, tomorrow they forget you. Today they praise your effort, tomorrow they criticize your choices. If your sense of worth depends on this unstable cycle, your emotions will constantly rise and fall with the opinions of others. But there is another path, a deeper, stronger, more powerful path, the path of self-mastery. Self-mastery is the ability to control your thoughts, your habits, your reactions, and your desires, even when nobody is watching. It is the discipline to do what is right, even when it is difficult. It is the strength to stay focused on your purpose, even when the world is distracted by comfort and entertainment. And emotionally, this journey is not easy. Because the greatest battle a human being fights is not with other people. It is with themselves. It is the battle between discipline and laziness, between patience and anger, between purpose and distraction. Every day your mind whispers excuses. It tells you to rest longer, to delay your work, to avoid the uncomfortable effort required for growth. And if you are not careful, those small moments of weakness slowly become habits that shape your entire life. But self-mastery begins when a person decides that their life will not be controlled by impulses. It begins when you wake up even when your body wants to sleep. When you stay patient even when your emotions want to explode. When you continue working even when nobody is praising your effort. Because discipline is not built in moments of comfort. It is built in silent struggles. The world often celebrates visible success, the achievements, the rewards, the recognition. But what the world rarely sees is the hidden work behind it. The lonely hours, the sacrifices, the moments of self-control that happen in complete silence. And in many ways, this is deeply connected to faith. A believer understands that the most meaningful actions are not always the ones that receive attention from people. Some of the most valuable actions are the ones done purely for the sake of Allah, where no one is watching, no one is applauding, and no one is recognizing your effort. Controlling your anger when you feel provoked, being patient when life becomes difficult, resisting temptation when it would be easy to give in. These are acts of inner strength, and every time you win one of these internal battles, your soul becomes stronger. There is something deeply emotional about realizing that the greatest victory in life is not defeating others, it is mastering yourself. Because once you gain control over your thoughts, your habits, and your emotions, the world loses its power to manipulate you. Praise no longer makes you arrogant. Criticism no longer breaks your spirit. Distractions no longer steal your focus. Your mind becomes stable. Your heart becomes disciplined. Your character becomes strong. As slowly something beautiful begins to grow inside you, a quiet confidence that does not depend on attention or applause. You no longer chase recognition because you understand something more important. True strength is the ability to control yourself when no one is watching. And when a person develops this level of inner control, their life begins to transform from the inside out. Their actions become more intentional. Their decisions become wiser. Their purpose becomes clear. Because discipline and inner control are forces that shape destiny. They build character. They build resilience. They build a life guided by purpose rather than public opinion. And when someone reaches this level of self-mastery, they realize something powerful within their heart. The approval of people was never the goal. The real victory was always learning to master the self. Growth becomes an addiction once you start improving yourself daily. Progress becomes your new obsession. Most people spend their lives chasing temporary pleasures. Comfort, entertainment, distractions. Small moments that feel good for a short time, but leave the heart empty afterward. Hours disappear scrolling through meaningless content. Days pass without real progress, and slowly a quiet frustration begins to grow inside the soul. Deep down, every human being wants to feel that they are moving forward, that their life is improving, that they are becoming stronger, wiser, and closer to the person they were meant to be. But the moment you begin the journey of self-improvement, something powerful starts to change inside you. At first it feels difficult. Discipline feels uncomfortable. Waking up earlier feels painful. Learning new skills feels frustrating. Breaking bad habits feels like fighting against your own mind. There are moments when your body wants comfort. Moments when your mind whispers excuses. Moments when it feels easier to return to the old habits that once controlled your routine. But if you push through those early struggles, even in small steps, something incredible begins to happen. You start seeing progress. Maybe your focus becomes sharper. Maybe your discipline becomes stronger. Maybe your mind becomes calmer and more controlled. And the moment you experience that small sense of improvement, a powerful feeling awakens inside you. The feeling of growth. This feeling is different from temporary pleasure. It is deeper. It touches something inside the human soul that longs for purpose. When you realize that you are capable of becoming better, your entire perspective on life begins to change. Instead of asking how you can relax more, you begin asking how you can improve more. Instead of searching for distractions, you start searching for knowledge. Instead of avoiding challenges, you begin welcoming them because you understand that every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger. This is when growth slowly becomes addictive. Not in a destructive way, but in a powerful way that fuels your potential. You begin to notice small victories that others cannot see. The moment you control your anger instead of reacting emotionally. The moment you complete work, even when your motivation disappears. The moment you resist laziness and continue improving your habits. Each of these moments sends a message to your mind. You are evolving. And emotionally, that realization is incredibly powerful. Because for the first time, you are not just living life, you are shaping it. Your identity begins to change. You are no longer the person who avoids effort. You are no longer the person controlled by comfort. You become someone who seeks progress. And the more you experience improvement, the more your desire to grow becomes stronger. You start protecting your time more carefully. You start choosing your habits more wisely. You start surrounding yourself with things that challenge your mind instead of weakening it. From a spiritual perspective, this journey carries a deeper meaning, because improving yourself is not only about success in this world, it is also about honoring the abilities and opportunities that Allah has placed within you. Every human being is given potential, intelligence, time, and energy as a trust. And when a person uses these gifts to grow, to learn, to become disciplined and beneficial, they are fulfilling a responsibility that carries spiritual value. Each moment of sincere effort becomes meaningful. Each step toward becoming a better person becomes an act of gratitude. Even when progress feels slow, there is peace in knowing that your effort is seen by the one who knows the struggles inside your heart. This understanding adds a deeper emotional strength to the journey of growth, because now you are not just improving for recognition or praise. You are improving because you respect the life you were given. You are improving because you refuse to waste the potential that was placed inside you. And slowly, the more you taste the feeling of progress, the harder it becomes to return to a life of stagnation. Your mind becomes hungry for improvement. Your habits begin to reflect discipline. Your days begin to carry purpose. And with each small victory, the desire to grow stronger becomes part of who you are. Comparison destroys potential. Your journey is unique. Comparing it with others only slows your evolution. One of the most silent enemies of personal growth is comparison. It enters the mind quietly, almost unnoticed. You see someone achieving something faster than you, someone earning more, progressing quicker, receiving recognition that you have not yet received. And suddenly a small voice inside your mind begins to whisper, *, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'm behind, maybe I am failing. This voice is dangerous because it slowly steals your confidence. Instead of focusing on your own path, your mind becomes occupied with watching the lives of others. You begin measuring your progress against their timeline, their achievements, their circumstances. But what most people forget is that every life is built on completely different foundations, different struggles, different opportunities, different responsibilities, different tests from Allah. Your story was never meant to look like someone else's story. But when comparison enters your heart, it blinds you from seeing the progress you are already making. You forget the battles you have already survived. You forget the strength you have already built through hardship. You forget the lessons that have shaped your character. Emotionally, comparison creates a constant feeling of inadequacy. No matter how far you go, there will always be someone ahead of you in some area of life. And if you allow that to control your thinking, you will never feel satisfied with your own growth. Your mind will always feel behind. Your efforts will always feel small. Your achievements will always feel incomplete. But the truth is far deeper than this illusion. Life was never designed to be a race between people. It was designed as a personal journey of growth, patience, and self-discovery. Each person is walking a path that only they can walk. Each person is facing tests that only they can understand. And in faith there is a powerful reminder, *, Allah distributes blessings, challenges, and opportunities according to wisdom that human beings cannot always see. *, some people are tested through delay. Some are tested through responsibility. Some are tested through hardship before success. And sometimes the very struggle you wish would disappear is a struggle that is shaping the strength of your soul. When you constantly compare yourself with others, you begin to question the wisdom of your own journey. You start believing that your path is somehow wrong simply because it looks different. But difference is not failure. Delay is not defeat. And a slower path does not mean a weaker destiny. In fact, some of the strongest people are those whose progress took time. People who struggle quietly while others seem to move ahead faster. People who face moments of doubt, loneliness, and frustration but continued walking forward anyway. There is something deeply emotional about realizing that many of your insecurities were never created by your own reality. They were created by comparison. You were doing fine until you started measuring your life against someone else's life. You were growing until you started believing you were behind. But the moment you release comparison, your mind becomes free again. You stop looking sideways and start looking forward. Your focus returns to your own development, your habits, your discipline, your knowledge, your faith, your character. You begin competing with the only person that truly matters in your journey, the person you were yesterday. Yesterday's weakness becomes today's improvement. Yesterday's mistakes become today's lessons. And slowly your progress becomes meaningful again because it belongs to your path, not someone else's timeline. From a spiritual perspective, this understanding creates peace inside the heart, because you begin to trust that the life Allah has written for you is not random. Your delays, your opportunities, your struggles, your growth, all of it is part of a story designed specifically for your soul. And when a person truly accepts this, the poison of comparison begins to disappear. Instead of jealousy, you feel patience. Instead of insecurity, you feel purpose. Instead of frustration, you feel determination to keep improving the person you were created to become. Energy follows focus. The more attention you give to your development, the faster your life changes. Human energy is deeply connected to attention. Whatever your mind focuses on consistently begins to shape your emotions, your actions, and ultimately the direction of your life. Many people do not realize this, but the reason their lives feel stagnant is not because they lack ability. It is because their focus is scattered. Their attention is constantly pulled in different directions. One moment they are worried about what others think. Another moment they are distracted by social media. Then they become consumed by problems, criticism, or comparison. And slowly their mental energy becomes drained by things that contribute nothing to their growth. But the moment a person begins to control their focus, something powerful begins to happen. Because focus is like a beam of light. When it is scattered, it illuminates nothing strongly. But when it is concentrated in one direction, it becomes powerful enough to transform reality. The same principle applies to your life. If your attention is constantly placed on distractions, your energy will feed those distractions. Your days will pass quickly, but progress will remain slow. You will feel busy but not fulfilled. However, when you begin placing your attention intentionally on your own development, your energy begins to move in a completely different direction. You start thinking about how to strengthen your discipline. You begin noticing habits that waste your time and slowly replacing them with habits that move your life forward. Your mind becomes more aware of how you spend your hours, how you speak to others, how you respond to difficulties. This shift may appear small at first, but emotionally it changes everything. Because once your focus turns toward improvement, your energy naturally follows it. The time you once spent worrying about people's opinions becomes time invested in learning. The energy you once wasted on distractions becomes energy invested in building skills. The attention you once gave to negativity becomes attention invested in strengthening your mindset. And slowly, without dramatic announcements or sudden miracles, your life begins to change. There is something deeply emotional about this transformation because it reveals a powerful truth. Most people are not limited by ability. They are limited by where they place their focus. A mind that constantly focuses on problems becomes heavy with frustration. A mind that constantly focuses on other people becomes trapped in comparison. But a mind that focuses on growth begins to expand. You start seeing opportunities where others only see obstacles. You start feeling motivated by progress rather than discouraged by difficulty. Your attention becomes a tool that guides your life instead of something that is easily controlled by the world around you. From a spiritual perspective, this idea carries even deeper meaning. Faith teaches that the human heart and mind must be directed with intention. When a person fills their attention with negativity, envy, anger, and distraction, their inner world becomes restless. But when a person directs their focus toward improvement, patience, gratitude, and discipline, their inner world becomes stronger and more stable. In many ways, your focus becomes a reflection of what you truly value. If you value comfort above growth, your energy will follow comfort. If you value recognition above character, your energy will chase attention. But when you truly value becoming a better person mentally, emotionally, spiritually, your energy naturally begins to move toward that transformation. This is why even small changes in focus can create powerful changes in life. A few minutes spent learning every day becomes knowledge over time. A small habit practiced consistently becomes discipline. A moment of patience practiced repeatedly becomes emotional strength. These changes may not be visible immediately, but they slowly shape the direction of your future. And as your focus becomes stronger, your life begins to move with greater momentum. Your actions become more intentional. Your time becomes more valuable. Your energy becomes aligned with your purpose. Instead of drifting through life reacting to circumstances, you begin shaping your path with awareness and determination. And step by step, the more attention you give to your development, the more your energy fuels the process of becoming the person you were always capable of becoming. The best investment is yourself. Skills, knowledge, mindset, and character create lifelong success. Many people spend their lives searching for the perfect investment. They look for opportunities that promise financial growth, security, and a better future. They study markets, follow trends, and hope to find something that will multiply their wealth over time. But one truth often remains overlooked. The most powerful investment a person can ever make is not in money, property, or business opportunities. The most powerful investment is in themselves, because everything you achieve in life will always be limited or expanded by the person you become. Your skills determine the value you can create. Your knowledge shapes the decisions you make. Your mindset controls how you respond to difficulty. And your character determines whether success strengthens you or destroys you. If these foundations are weak, no external success can truly protect your future. Money can disappear, opportunities can change, recognition can fade. But the person you build within yourself stays with you for life. This is why the journey of personal development carries such deep emotional importance. Because when you invest time in learning, improving your thinking, strengthening your discipline, and developing your character, you are building something that cannot easily be taken away from you. Every book you read expands the way you see the world. Every skill you practice increases your ability to contribute and create value. Every challenge you overcome strengthens your resilience and emotional maturity. These small investments may not always produce immediate results, but over time they begin to transform your entire life. There is something powerful about realizing that the future you desire is directly connected to the person you are becoming today. If you strengthen your mind, your opportunities grow. If you strengthen your discipline, your productivity increases. If you strengthen your character, people begin to trust and respect you more deeply. And slowly your life begins to open doors that once seemed impossible. From a spiritual perspective, this understanding carries even greater meaning. Because the abilities, intelligence, time, and potential you possess are not random gifts. They are trusts placed in your life by Allah, and every trust carries responsibility. The mind you were given was meant to learn and grow. The time you were given was meant to be used with purpose. The abilities inside you were meant to develop and serve a meaningful role in the world. When a person neglects these gifts, they slowly waste the potential that was placed within them. Days pass without growth, years pass without progress, and eventually the feeling of regret begins to settle in the hearts. But when someone begins investing in themselves, even in small ways, something powerful begins to awaken inside them. A sense of responsibility, a sense of purpose, a sense of gratitude for the life and abilities they have been given. Learning no longer feels like an obligation, it becomes a path toward becoming stronger. Discipline no longer feels like punishment, it becomes a tool that protects your future. Even challenges begin to carry meaning, because every difficulty becomes an opportunity to strengthen patience, wisdom, and character. Emotionally, this journey can be deeply moving because it reminds you that your life is not fixed. You are not limited to the person you were yesterday. Every day carries a possibility of growth if you choose to invest your time and effort wisely. Instead of waiting for life to change around you, you begin changing the person within you. Your mindset becomes stronger. Your knowledge becomes deeper. Your skills become sharper. Your character becomes more disciplined and grounded. And slowly the life you once imagined begins to move closer, not because of luck, but because you chose to invest in the most valuable assets you will ever possess, the person you are becoming. One day you will realize something important. The people you once tried to impress, the opinions you once feared, the validation you once chased, none of it truly mattered. What mattered was who you became in the process. So stop looking around. Stop waiting for approval. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. Instead, focus on building your mind, strengthening your character, expanding your potential. Because when you become obsessed with your growth, you don't just change your life. You become the person you were always meant to be.